Hello and welcome back to Small Screen Stories. This is the daily show where I go over the news of the news of the day, in the world of entertainment and pop culture. My name is Edward Lauder. I am the editor of Small Screen, and let's just get straight into the news. So the very first news story that went up today was that Nicolas Cage is rumored to be in talks to join the MCU. So this is pretty big news in itself, but actually this came from a website called Geekosity, and they went a bit further and they actually claimed that the role in question is for Ghost Rider. So this has been something that's been on the cards apparently for quite some time now. And according to, it's actually, sorry, not Geekosity, it's Giant Freaking Robot, sorry. Cage is in now talks with Marvel for the role. And they're saying that the rumor was then backed up by Geekosity's Mikey Sutton, who claimed that Cage will be acting as a mentor to a younger version of the character in the Marvel movies. Sutton also added that this younger version of Ghost Rider could be a woman, which I believe would be an interesting way to go. I think that's something that they could do pretty well in the future. This is something I've been talking a lot about, upcoming films. I've been talking about this for the Green Lantern movies as well. But it would be really interesting if the original Ghost Rider were to be Nicolas Cage, and then he was kind of teaching the new Ghost Rider, possibly a girl or a woman, to how to take on the role. Of course, we know that Nicolas Cage has played Johnny Blaze in the past. He's played him in 2 movies and they're mad, absolutely crazy. But Nicolas Cage is mad. He's an insane actor, but he's someone that I love personally as an actor. And I would love to see him in the MCU, because if he's given enough, if he's got the right director and if he's given the right direction, then he could be brilliant. He is brilliant. He's been fantastic in a lot of movies. I've listed them all in the article that's on the site now. He's been in Leaving Las Vegas, Raising Arizona, Adaptation, Joe, Mandy, Kick-Ass, and the National Treasure movies. They're all brilliant, but he's also been in a lot of rubbish. If you've watched the Jiu-Jitsu trailer, you'll know what kind of movie he tends to do nowadays. They tend to be kind of B movies and very bad. Although I still kind of love them. I still love Nicolas Cage. But this rumor I do like. I like the fact that they're really looking at him for the role of Ghost Rider. There have also been reports that Johnny Depp is in contention for the role, and also consideration, not contention, in consideration for the role, and also Keanu Reeves. Now, Keanu Reeves would be a good choice. I think Johnny Depp would be a pretty good choice as well. But I really do like the idea of Nicolas Cage coming back to play the role that he was kind of famous, well, not famous for, but he has played him in 2 movies, so he seems to understand the character pretty well. And I think the MCU could really benefit from the madness that is Nicolas Cage. He's currently filming a film all about Nicolas Cage, which sounds brilliant. There have been some really cool set photos from that movie, and I'm really looking forward to that film. But what do you think? Do you think Nicolas Cage should be playing Ghost Rider in the MCU? There is some kind of confusion, mainly involving the fact that there already is supposedly a Ghost Rider within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He was introduced in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. now canon? Who knows? Who knows what's going on with that show, to be honest? But it's still going on. But it's something that I'm going to, full disclosure, I ended up I stopped watching that show. But it's something that apparently a lot of people are still really into. I just couldn't watch it for much longer. I just dropped off. It's just one of those things. But what do you think? Would you like to see Nicolas Cage in the MCU? Let me know in the comments below. Right, moving on to, this is a Geekosity scoop. It's all about Tom Holland, and apparently Tom Holland is in consideration for a Star Wars role. So in their article, they didn't specify whether it would be for one of the movies or the TV shows, which they're making a lot of. They're making a lot of these television shows, these Star Wars TV shows, all coming to Disney Plus. But they're saying that Tom Holland is their editor Mikey Sutton has revealed that Tom Holland is being considered for a role in the Star Wars universe. So a lot of people are saying that he could be playing Ezra Bridger. Now I know for a fact that that's not going to be the case, because I'm pretty sure that Rahul Kohli's got that one all wrapped up. But we're going to have to wait and see. And he's also a bit too old. I think if he were to play him in like The Mandalorian season 3, I think he's too old. He's also really busy. He's currently filming He's currently filming Spider-Man 3, and he's doing that in Atlanta. He's just finished the Uncharted movie, so he's someone that's in high demand, and he's worked with Disney. Of course, he's working with Disney now on the Marvel movies, on the Spider-Man movies. So he's someone that they know and they know is good. But is he working on this one? Is he going to be in a Star Wars film? I don't know, but according to Geekosity, he is in consideration. And that's something that, to me, Geekosity is a website that I do trust, but we're going to have to wait and see, because there are lots of things they're developing, a lot of things that are going ahead or not going ahead, and there's the possibility of more to come from Star Wars. It seems as though they're really, really kind of ramping things up as far as Star Wars is concerned. But this is something that I'm really interested in, and hopefully I will bring you more if I hear anything about it, or if Geekosity post anything, or any other site for that matter. But it's just one of those things, one of those those stories that I'm looking forward to knowing more about. I'm also looking forward to seeing what they do in the Star Wars universe. We know that they're doing a Kenobi series. We know that they're doing a Cassian Andor series. This is all on Disney+. There's, of course, The Mandalorian. There are all the spin-offs coming from The Mandalorian, which supposedly a Bo-Katan series and an Ahsoka Tano series. There's a lot of stuff coming, and not much about movies, so he's probably going to be in a TV show. We're just going to have to wait and see. What do you think? Are you looking forward to potentially seeing Tom Holland in the Star Wars universe? He's in a lot of stuff, but the Star Wars universe, I think that'd be really cool, personally. He's an actor. He's not really, you can't really call him an up-and-coming actor now, because he's pretty much there now, but he's someone that I think is really, really good, and can do a lot of, he can do no wrong in many people's eyes, especially mine. Right, moving on. Well, anyway, sorry, let me know what you think of this in the comments below. So moving on to what is the big exclusive of the day over at Small Screen. And this is that Matthew Vaughn is working with Mark Millar on a live-action Superman Red Sun movie. So this was actually brought to me a couple of days ago, and it's something that I've been sitting on for a while. And it's from multiple sources that have told me this, and they're pretty adamant that this is happening. Now, I have direct quoted the sources here. The very first person that came to me is someone that I've worked with in the past, and they always do this. They're saying that Warner Brothers Pictures is working on a Superman Red Sun movie. It'll be live action, and Mark Millar and Matthew Vaughn are both involved. So then a second source came to me with very similar information, saying that Superman Red Sun is in the works. Matthew Vaughn and Mark Millar are producing it, and Millar is overseeing the screenplay. So I did actually ask them about whether or not that would be, that they would be actually, whether Mark Millar would be writing the screenplay himself, and whether Matthew Vaughn would be directing the movie. They both said no. They said that at the moment, no. The script is being written by somebody else. They didn't tell me who, and that they're looking at someone else to direct it, not Matthew Vaughn, which I think is quite strange, because of course they did pitch a Superman movie to Warner Brothers before. It's actually it was a Man of Steel 2 movie, I believe, that they pitched. So this is something that they're really passionate about. Mark Millar, of course, wrote the comic book. I have a prop today. I actually have the comic book here. I love this comic. Maybe you can see it there if I just get outside of the ring light. For those of you listening, I'm holding up the Superman Red Sun comic book, which was written by Mark Millar, with art from Dave Johnson, Killian Plunkett, Andrew Robinson, and Walden Wong. It's a fantastic story. So the elevator pitch to this story is kind of what would happen? What would have happened should Superman as a baby have landed in Russia and not in the United States? It's a really good question, and the story is brilliant, and I would really recommend that you go and find the comic book. If you can purchase it online, you can read it on a Kindle. Frankly, it's brilliant, and it's one of my very favourite Superman stories. It is my favourite Superman story. It's one that I really do recommend. And apparently, final bit of news on this particular scoop, Henry Cavill won't be playing Superman in this. They're actually, according to my sources, they're looking for someone, either someone that can speak Russian or someone of Russian descent. And that's actually quite important to them, because this is a Russian version of the character. And they also released an animated film of Superman Red Sun this year, which was actually really quite good. I really enjoyed that. And if you don't want to read the comic book, go and check that one out. That's quite interesting. I was also kind of wondering, I did ask whether the writer of the animated film would be writing the script, and they said, no, that actually they haven't responded to me on that one. But they did say that no, this won't be Henry Cavill's version of Superman. Warner Brothers wants this to be a standalone movie separate from the main DC films, which to me kind of sounded like they wanted this almost to be like like Joker, like Todd Phillips' Joker was, which means it's completely separate from the rest of the DCU, which would make sense because this is an Elseworlds story, so it is separate from everything else that's going on, and it wouldn't really make much sense for people, but it would be a standalone movie, and I would love it if Matthew Vaughn were to direct it and if Mark Millar were to write it, but at the moment that's not the information I'm getting. But what do you guys think? Is this something that you're interested in? Would you like to see Superman Red Sun on the big screen in live action? Let me know in the comments below. Right. Moving on to the fourth story of the day is that Marvel has hired Mohamed Diab to direct its Moon Knight series. So this is pretty big news because it seems as though they've hired him to direct the whole show, which is quite unusual. It's quite unusual to just have one director doing the whole thing. But no, this is, I'm just going to have to get up here. This is according to Deadline. Sorry, they've hired the Egyptian filmmaker Mohamed Diab to direct their upcoming show. And this is really quite fascinating. This is he's quite well known in Egypt. He directed a film called Clash in English, which was at the official selection at the 2016 Cannes Film Festival for Un Certain Regard in the Certain Regard category, which is quite a big deal. And he's also his directorial debut was Cairo 678. Which was released a month before the Egyptian Revolution. So he's a very political filmmaker. He's also, he wrote the blockbuster Egyptian franchise The Island in English. And that's among the highest grossing Egyptian and Arabic films of all time. These are, they're huge in Egypt. So he's already a pretty big deal in Egypt. And it's going to be interesting to see what he does with this property, because it's a pretty big property to be in charge of. He's, as far as I can tell, he's directing all the episodes, but I will get back to you if that's not the case. But it's something that I'm really looking forward to. They've already announced that Oscar Isaac is playing the lead, Mark Spector, aka Moon Knight, and it's something that is also got Jeremy Slater as the showrunner, who was the showrunner on The Umbrella Academy, on Netflix, which is a fantastic show. I love that show so much. So there's a lot of good people involved in this. And it's something that I personally am very, very keen to see. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. So moving on from this and on to some Netflix news. So the big news of the day, it was actually late last night here in the UK, or France where I am now, is that a live-action Assassin's Creed TV series is in the works at Netflix. They revealed this via Twitter. They just simply wrote Netflix plus Assassin's Creed, and that they'll be working closely with Ubisoft. It'll be starting with a live action series, but they'll also be working on some animated TV shows, and maybe another couple of TV shows further down the line. It seems as though they're doing a lot of stuff with the Assassin's Creed property, and you know what? This is the right place for it, because Assassin's Creed, the movie, was terrible. I mean, I can say that, the one with Michael Fassbender, which is such a shame because it had so much potential. Assassin's Creed, the video game, the Ubisoft video game, is fantastic. But unfortunately, the movie wasn't very good. A lot of people kind of thought that it was going to be the savior of video game movies. It wasn't. It wasn't the savior. It was just kind of a damp squib, really. But it looks like Netflix is going to save us once again. They're very good at making television shows, so I'm actually really, really excited to see how well this does, how good this ends up being, because this is something that I've wanted to see for a very, very long time. The video games are very cinematic, so I would assume that they're very easy to adapt, but we're just going to have to wait and see. Hopefully it'll happen. It's happening. Hopefully it'll be good. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. So right, moving on, and we're going to do some. We're going to move away. We're going to do one more bit of Netflix news. Is that James Wan is working on a new horror show for Netflix. It's called Archive 81. So Archive 81 is actually based. It's going to be based on a podcast series, which is slightly unusual. That was became quite a big hit actually, and the Netflix shared the synopsis of the series, which is when archivist Dave Turner takes a mysterious job restoring a collection of damaged videotapes. Here, I'll put this up for you. there we go, of damaged videotapes from 1997. He finds himself reconstructing the work of documentary filmmaker Melody Pendras and her investigation into a dangerous cult. As Dan is drawn into Melody's story, he becomes convinced that he can save her from the terrifying end she met 25 years ago. It's going to be it's going to be written and produced, and the showrunner will be Rebecca Sonnenschein, I think is her name, and it'll star Mohamedou Ati from Jurassic World Domination, and Dina I'm butchering these, Shihabi, I think is how she's in Altered Carbon. She's really good in that show, actually. And Sonnenschein also had to say that with Archive 81, we're hoping to give the supernatural horror genre a new twist while keeping a dark and deeply emotional romance at its core. Alongside the talented Mohamedou Ati and Diana Shihabi, and the visionary partners at Atomic Monster and Rebecca Thomas, I'm excited to take Netflix viewers on a terrifying and visual thrilling adventure. This news is it just really does talk to me. It's something that I love. First off, I'm a big fan of James Wan. I think he's brilliant, and he's producing this show. So he made the likes of, he started off with the first Saw movie, and then went on to make, I believe it was The Conjuring first, but he's made The Conjuring 2, Insidious 2, then he made the Aquaman movie. So he's a really good director, and he also produces a lot of stuff. So the fact that his name is attached to this, to me, is a good thing, is a sign of good things to come. And I love spooky Netflix TV shows. I think they're great. I love the Haunting of series, and I really do like the sound of this as well. This is something that really floats my boat, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it. What do you guys think? Is this something that you're looking forward to seeing? Are you a James Wan fan? Are you a horror fan? Do you like the shows that are on Netflix at the moment, the horror TV shows? Let me know in the comments below. Right, let's move on, and we're going to move on to some Shang-Chi news. Well, this has been revealed by the director of the movie, Destin Daniel Cretton, on Instagram. He revealed that they have wrapped the film. So he just posted, I'll put up the Instagram post here. He posted a picture of himself with his wife, one of the actors in the movie, and I believe maybe a costume designer. I'm not sure, but yeah, just we are wrapped right there. And Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings has wrapped, and this is one of the movies that I'm really excited to see in the MCU. I think this is a film in the MCU that's really going to change things up. It's the very first Marvel movie that has an Asian lead in it. It's also going to be very different, I think, visually, and also I think that the action is going to be incredibly visceral and very different to everything else we've seen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe so far. We kind of saw bits of it in the Iron Fist TV show on Netflix, but that wasn't as good as we wanted it to be. And this is something that I am actually really, really looking forward to watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Is this a movie that you're looking forward to watching too? I think this is going to be very important for the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Right, moving on to the next story, which is that Bruce Campbell has revealed Evil Dead Rise, which is the next Evil Dead movie, will feature a female hero, not a woman hero. So I was reading Geek Tyrants, so I don't want to throw them under the bus, but I was reading their, so this is something that I've been actually really, really looking forward to for a very long time now. Bruce Campbell, of course, is famous for playing Ash in the Evil Dead movies and Ash versus the Evil Dead. I love the Evil Dead. It's one of my favorite franchises. I think it's brilliant. It's the first 3 movies were directed by Sam Raimi, and then he was the executive producer of the TV show. There was an Evil Dead remake, which I'm forgetting the name of the director, but it wasn't very good. But anyway, Campbell was talking to AL.com about the Evil Dead movie, and this was when he revealed... I'll get this up. He revealed that rebooting can be very confusing and frustrating and not always successful. Reboot, sequel, remake, we all have these crazy terms. What we're doing now is we're saying, look, this is another Evil Dead movie, and that book gets around. A lot of people run into it, and it's another story. The main key with the Evil Dead is they're just regular people who are battling what seems to be a very unstoppable evil, and so that's where the horror comes from. It's a very long quote, sorry. It's not someone who's skilled. They're not fighting a soldier. They're not fighting a scientist. They're not fighting anybody more than your average neighbor. It's this one is going to be a similar thing. We're going to have a heroine, a woman in charge, and she's going to try and save her family. I really like I really like this. It's a very long quote, but I like what they're talking about here. I like the fact that they're trying to change things up. I like the fact that Ash isn't going to be the focal point of this next Evil Dead movie, because we've already had 3 movies and a series with him. Maybe it's time for Bruce Campbell to take a step back. It's a way that we can see them progress and do something a bit different with the franchise. And I love Sam Raimi. I love Bruce Campbell. I love the Evil Dead. I love this news. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Right, moving on to Creed 3. It's been revealed that Michael B. Jordan is apparently in talks with Warner Brothers to direct Creed 3. Now, he's been in the news quite a lot recently. Michael B. Jordan, of course, is now producing the Static Shock movie, and it looks like they're casting that movie as we speak. There are also rumors that he might be directing that film as well. But if he were to direct Creed 3, that would be his directorial debut, which to me I think is actually a very good movie to start off with. He, of course, starred in the first 2 Creed movies, and he's a fantastic actor, but I think he wants to direct. And this comes from Deadline, actually, and they reported that Jordan and Warner Brothers are currently in talks. So if he were to get the gig for Creed 3, then it would end up being his directorial debut. The main article was kind of focusing on streaming releases, yet they did mention Creed 3 in passing. They said Michael B. Jordan is considering to direct, and this was actually mentioned in the Rocky franchise's producer Erwin Winkler in his book, and he wrote, I promised Michael B. Jordan that he'd get his chance to direct Creed 3. Last year, in a conversation with our Creed star Michael B. Jordan, I offered him the opportunity not only to star in it, but also to direct Creed 3. So it seems to me as though it's pretty nailed on that he's going to be directing this movie. I'm really looking forward to seeing the film. I'm a big fan of these new Creed movies, these new kind of, they're not Rocky spin-offs because Rocky is still involved in them, but they're kind of the evolution in the Rocky franchise, let's call it. And they're really good. They're really visceral. They're very good stories and full of great acting. Michael B. Jordan is fantastic in it, and it's something that I am really looking forward to seeing. Are you looking forward to seeing this? Let me know in the comments below. Right, so I'm finishing off today's stream with the final story of the day, and that's involving Power Rangers. I have been a fan of Power Rangers for a very, very long time, and this is coming from We Got This Covered. So again, I need like a GIF or something to come up. Take this with a big pinch of salt, because they put a lot of stuff out there. But they are saying that Stranger Things star Millie Bobby Brown is rumored to be up for a role in the Power Rangers reboot. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that, and yes, that's just me. Right, so according to We Got This Covered, the Hasbro and Entertainment One are looking to cast Stranger Things Millie Bobby Brown in one of their upcoming Power Rangers movies or TV shows. They're very vague about what this is, but she's now, her star is really on the rise. Like, first off, she was in Stranger Things and she's brilliant in that. She was in the recent Godzilla movie, and she was as good as she possibly could be in that movie. That movie wasn't my favorite film of all time, but she did her very best. But most recently, she was in Enola Holmes. And Enola Holmes, I think, is really the vehicle for her that will kind of catapult her into real stardom. I know she's already famous from being in Stranger Things, but in Enola Holmes, she showed that she was able to do something different, she could lead a movie, which is really good. I think that's, for her career, that's a brilliant move to do, to go with that, and to go with Netflix, and to go with that particular character. She worked brilliantly with Henry Cavill on screen. I thought she was really good in that movie, even though the movie itself wasn't brilliant. But no, so what Hasbro and Entertainment One are looking to do is they want to create, which is absolutely mad, but they want to create a Power Rangers cinematic and television universe. And this is all going to be led by I'm forgetting his name, Jonathan Entwistle, who is he's directed a couple of shows on Netflix now, the names of which are escaping me. The End of the Fucking World, I think, is one. Apologies for the swearing. And there's another one, but I'm forgetting the name right now. But it'll come back to me. But yeah, he's kind of like their Kevin Feige of this Power Rangers cinematic universe. And he's apparently going to be directing everything, which is crazy. He's basically signed his life away to Hasbro. But he obviously has a very good idea. There are rumors that the movie is going to see the Power Rangers kind of go back into the 90s, and then trying to find a way back to their current time, which apparently I'm assuming is now, although that hasn't been confirmed. Even though people are kind of talking about that as if that's going to happen, they haven't confirmed that this is the story they're going to go with. That script has been written, and it is there. Whether they take it or not, I don't know. But no, it looks. I would assume that if she's in consideration for a role, I would assume that it's in the movie and not a TV show. Because now she's, Millie Bobby Brown, if you say it quickly, is a big star. She's a movie star now. Even though she's in Stranger Things, I still think she's a movie star. So putting her in a lead as a lead in this would actually be, as far as I'm concerned, a very clever thing to do. It's something that I think I'm actually really excited to see these Power Rangers, kind of this cinematic universe unfold. It's not all about Marvel. Power Rangers is fun too. I know a lot of people are saying it's probably a bit too childish, but I'm just a big child, obviously. But it's something that I am really looking forward to, and I hope that We Got This Covered sources are correct, and that she will be in the movies, because I think she's brilliant. Maybe playing the Yellow Ranger. I think she'd be a good Yellow Ranger. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you so much for watching and listening. So as usual, I release this as a podcast a bit later on. You can find that at Small Screen Stories, wherever you get your podcasts. You can follow Small Screen at Small Screen GB. That's everywhere. That's on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also, subscribe. If you like this stuff, you can subscribe on YouTube. And you can also head on over to the website, which is www.small-screen.co.uk for even more pop culture news, reviews, and exclusives, and also features. Again, I say this all the time, but if you want to write for the site, we have some fantastic writers. If you want to write for us, you can email me personally. You can email me at edward@small-screen.co.uk. I'm accepting pitches. We do pay. It's not much, but we do pay people for their time. There are either 500 words or 1,000 word articles. We have rates for both of them. You can ask me personally how much we pay. But yeah, if you have a good idea, I will commission you, and then we'll get that up on the site. And that's what Small Screen is all about. It's all about the fans writing, trying to get people a voice in this massive, massive world, which is entertainment news, entertainment journalism. And it's all about, we love writing about what we love. And it's quite a good thing to do. It's quite good fun as well. So yeah, with that, I will say goodbye. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And I'll see you back here tomorrow. Thank you.